Hey again, everybody. So, I've been gone about a month. I have been wrapping up finals, so just been trying to make sure that I stay on top of that, and you know, as such, I just kind of took a break from uploading here, but I'm excited to be back. I just finished my last final yesterday, and tomorrow will be our kind of presentation day, which I'm a little bit nervous about, but I am proud of the work that I've done. So, yeah. Anyway, today's topic is being open-minded, or at least being open-minded to the point that is still beneficial. Because I think there's a cutoff point where being too open, you're running some risks. So the title of the video is "Be open to everything, but do not let everything in." And I saw this on Instagram somewhere, and just kind of really struck me because recently, and kind of with school wrapping up and kind of thinking about these next steps for the summertime, and then also planning for next semester, that there's a lot of different paths that I'm being told that I should go on, or that at least I'm telling myself, and I'm kind of seeing all of the options that I have. And with school and being in college, you hear all the time that college is just a scam, and it's hard not to feel like I'm wasting my time and money sometimes. But I feel like for the thing that I want to do and how much that I am enjoying it, that it is worth it. Now, am I guaranteed to have a job? No, but I definitely am learning a lot more than I think I would be capable of learning on my own. But I'm still keeping that open-mindedness to the other options that I have there. And along those lines, there is always, I can always, do other things while I'm still pursuing my degree. And I am also working full time and, doing what I can to, really set myself up. But it is hard sometimes to, see the negativity, especially online, of just, people saying like, oh, well, Gen Z is probably never going to own a home. And, just with how the economy is, and just, there's a lot of bleakness and a lot of people kind of calling out the end times of, the American dream. And I've just seen a lot of things like that recently, and it's hard not to feel discouraged. And I know firsthand just how expensive everything is. But I don't know, there's still a part of me that I want to continue to do what I'm doing. So also, the quote at the beginning here is, the trouble with having an open mind, of course, is that people will insist on coming along and trying to put things in it. And that is from Terry Pratchett. He was an author. I didn't read into him too much, but he was a fantasy author. And I always love having quotes from authors because I enjoy reading. But this quote was is a beam of hope from what I had just said, because I can see these things online that are discouraging, where I kind of think, man, like, maybe I will never do this. Maybe this goal that I have is unattainable, or maybe the expectations that I have of these things is not realistic. But reading a thing like that just reminds me that I still have the option to not let those things in. and to kind of filter what I am putting into my mind. And it is good to have an open mind, but there are some things that you don't need to be open to, that it's good to hear but to not let in. And I think that's more important now than ever, just with how polarizing a lot of things are now. And that if you have a way that you do things, and a way that you think where you can do your daily tasks and you can perform and you feel good, then stick with that. And if there are more things that can improve on that, then of course bring those things in. But I think more often than not, people don't necessarily have our best interests at heart. And so we may be told things that, oh, well, you should do it this way, this is the way that I did it. And depending on who that's coming from, might not be the advice that you should take. It might not be the way that will work for you individually. And that's something I have really learned, especially with these finals, because I've been seeing all of my peers work, and it's hard not to compare yourself. And I see some people's stuff, I'm like, man, they really killed it. And then I look at myself, I'm like, man, this could be way better. And I do what I can to get it to a point that I feel somewhat satisfied, but there's always that pit that I could have done more. If I would have been like this guy, I could have managed my time better. I could have put more effort into this. But then I catch myself and I think about quotes like this, and like, why am I letting that in my mind? Why am I telling myself that this work that I still put many hours into isn't good enough? And I've definitely learned a ton in this past semester on some things that I want to work on, and I have a lot of summer project ideas that I really want to do. And yeah, I feel more inspired to continue than I feel the doubt to quit. And I think that's a really good place to be, especially in the program that I'm in, where it's very creatively based. And I don't know really what kind of personality that I am, if I'm right brain or left brain, and if I'm more artistic than I am technical. But at least for now, that more artistic side, I think, has kind of shown itself. So yeah. But overall, I mean, things have been good. It was stressful, wrapping up finals. But as far as everything else goes, I'm still doing pretty nice. And I was really sick for a little while, which sucked because I couldn't get any work off, and I had to cram through finals. But yeah, so I'll be presenting those tomorrow. So wish me luck on that. And I would just take some time to think about, what are you letting in, and what are you putting in front of yourself to come into your mind, and what are people trying to put into your mind, and are those things that are really benefiting you. So that's all I have for you for today. I'll see you in the next one.